that certainly went from a match with a lot of posturing to an all-out awesome brawl.
Yeah, that was a match. I honestly cannot say I would have expected that the defending champions would get knocked down into the elimination bracket by Road this early.
I mean, it seems like something happened that improved Road.
I know, I realized why I said they've always been terrible,
Yeah.
but I felt like they could win now.
Yeah.
Shop Baftos, you are a much better captain than I am. You are literally Jesus.
That was
Good job.
That was a great result. That was a great result. So what happened? So there was a lot of posturing to begin with, right? They were kind of moving around. The Punisher goes in. Then a Fleet Typhoon got caught.
I don't remember.
There was a lot of...
I was too excited.
There was a lot of very careful maneuvering. Both
Yeah.
teams stayed away at the beginning. Generally, when you have two rush teams, or two brawling teams, which both of these are, the team that rushes in and against the team that's standing still is at a disadvantage because you tend to come in staggered a little bit. You're not all arriving at the same time. You're often out of position. You have danger of getting your Aneros or your Logi damped. There's a lot of things that can go wrong.
You get
moving
web staggered too, like
Yeah.
tackle splits you up. It's
So-
generally bad to go in.
So you often get these kind of battle of wills. And
That's almost exactly what happened to Rote versus Verge in the last Alliance tournament. Was we were running, I think it was Vindy double Chronos, and they let us rush into them and then just tackled us at staggered points. So none of us are applying all of our damage. We're tracking disrupted. We're generally useless, which is probably my fault that all went wrong.
And I mean, Verge did engage. Like, they sent the Punisher in first.
Yeah, which was really, we thought that was going to be crippling actually, because
Yes.
what happened is he basically had an opportunity to get tackle on the logistics. So he dove for the Oneros, got a web on the Oneros, and then Verge followed up. And that seemed really bad. Like, if the logistics is that vulnerable from the very start of the fight, it could determine, the outcome of the match.
But I mean, the Logi was caught. The Punisher stayed alive for quite a long time. Why didn't Verge follow up?
I think they were afraid to commit to the brawl, and I think the reason that they anchored up on the Logi, they being Ro Capel, anchored on to the Oneros, was to make sure that anything that went after the Oneros was right in the middle of a ball of death. And then they just transitioned well from the Punisher over to that Navy Foon or that Fleet Foon and just melted right through it. It was
when that Fleet Foon started dropping so fast, I think everyone was surprised. You saw how surprised the commentators in the booth were and how excited they were. We were also kind of yelling at it here and cheering. Like it was a big swing.
I got yelled at like 6 times to be quiet.
It was an exciting match.
It was very exciting.
Yeah, it happened like very fast, so it's hard to know the details, but it seemed like once Verge was committed to the Oneros, which actually got free, they were able to damp the Punisher off and cut the Oneros loose, but they kind of counter-engaged. Like, they had freedom then to sort of go for a ship freely because they were focused on the Oneros. I mean, a lot happens really quickly right there, but yes, they were able to shred him up pretty good.
And then at the point where the Foons were dying and the Brutixes were tanking, that was just it. Like,
Yeah, that's
the
bad
fact
news.
that Brutix was able to continuously tank that well.
The Vexor, it took them forever to kill the Vexor,
Yeah.
and that's not a heavily tanked ship. So I don't know if it was an issue of, we have one damage type, which doesn't seem like it'd be the case, but they just tanked really well, and I don't know if you can blame all of that on a reactive or armor hardener.
All right, well, we do have some stats for the next match. It's Late Night Alliance versus Test Alliance. Please ignore. Now we are getting to one of the big 0.0 alliances, Test, almost 13,000 members.
Yeah, Late Night is a group of factional warfare pilots in Minmatar FW. They're the home of one of our former CSM members, Hans Jagerblitzen, current member of the Council of Planetary Management for Dust 514. So yeah, I think
Actually, Late Night's record there looks stronger than Test's. Like, they did really well against 2 teams, one of which was Clockwork, who are doing fine, won today. And whereas Test, they've done okay too, but they had a really close match against Razor, who is now out, right?
yes. Yeah.
And who hasn't been strong?
Yeah, I mean, they
Ever
were
in the Alliance tournament.
absolutely
Razor?
terrible. But
Yeah.
I think Late Night have been a little bit more impressive this tournament so far. Late Night also, interestingly, has like a ton of people betting on them. They always have tons and tons of money on all their matches because FW people are like the second richest people in EVE after Wormholers.
Yeah.
So Late Night Alliance is led by T. Earl Grey Hot.
He's a great captain.
Which seems like more like a sequence of events than an actual name.
And the
That's
team captain
wonderful.
for Test is Ducrot. and he actually runs an SCL team every single SCL.
Yep. So they've got quite a bit of tournament experience. I mean, they were in the last AT and they're in the SCLs, and yep.
They've been very inclusive in the SCL. They've been bringing in a lot of newer pilots to try to broaden the horizons, maybe get a deeper tourney pool.
I feel like Test and RVB have a lot in common in the tournament.
Yeah.
I feel like
They're both like almost the real deal,
Yeah.
and they both seem to have a lot of fun and kind of have new people involved, which is cool.
Yeah. All right. Match predictions, Fozzie.
I'm gonna go with late night on this.
Yeah.
we're going to go with Test on this one.
Yeah, my heart is with Test.
Mine is too, because I just noticed at the bottom right of the screen was their logistics pilot,
Taco Rice.
Taco
Taco Rice, who is a really good pilot. I'm going to go with Test Alliance and Taco Rice.